In this video, I want to talk to you about creativity in negotiation, but specifically focusing on some tactics that tend to be very creative in nature that can work to achieve your objectives. So just to review, strategy is generally made up of your motivational or your orientation, your objectives that you hope to achieve that affect the other person or the context of the negotiation, and they ultimately lead to the outcome, right? Achievement of these objectives will lead to the outcome that you seek in the negotiation. And then lastly, the tactics that you employ to achieve those objectives. Okay. In a separate video, we talked about approaches towards creativity, strategies that are creative in nature for coming up with objectives in the negotiation planning process. Here, we're going to talk about some examples of specific tactics that have proven to be useful in terms of generating novel and diverse outcomes or ideas, or are useful in achieving the objectives that have those characteristics. So to start with, let's identify the first one, fractioning. Fractioning is when you break the idea down into multiple portions, right? And this could be the interest in the negotiation. It could be the position that the other party has. It could be the dispute. And you address each of them individually and then collectively, right? So, but breaking every part of the negotiation, particularly the interest at stake, down into their respective parts, right? To the extent possible, breaking them down as far as possible and addressing them as such independently as well as collectively can be a very creative tactic. It can help you in the bundling process and the trading off process, okay? Next is finding differences. So the essence of a negotiation is that there's a dispute or perceived dispute or difference of position or opinion or conflict that has to be resolved, right? So you're looking for some level of common ground in there. So searching for all extant or existing differences between yourself and the other party, right? Pointing them out. Even if they're only tangentially related to the interest at stake in the negotiation, this can help repackage those interests. It can help create different perceptions among the parties as to how the interests affect each other, how they should be combined, and it can even change someone's perception or view of the difference at stake in total, right? It can change someone's view that perhaps there is no longer a dispute. Perhaps interests are aligned on a topic, right? Next is bridging. And bridging, as the name implies, seeks to get you from one side to the other. And this is just a broad category of any tactic that seeks to connect one party's side position with the other party's position in the negotiation, right? So it's anything that brings the two together, even if it's temporarily, even if it's for an individual interest rather than all the interest, or collectively all the interest rather than an individual interest. So this is known as bridging. Cost cutting, this is very important. If you can cut the cost of compliance with any plan or given idea or the methods by which you're undertaking the negotiation process, right? One, it can align yourself with the interest of the other side, that if you're achieving something by creating value for the other side, that is cutting their cost of compliance, and whatever that means in terms of process or substantive interest associated with the negotiation. So once again, figuring out ways in the negotiation to benefit someone in a way that otherwise is not directly related to the substantive interest at stake, okay? Another very popular one is structuring contingencies. And this is basically where instead of assigning the risk of something happening to a single party, saying that I don't believe this to be the case, so I'm going to pay you less, right? That type of thing. Rather than arguing over whether some information is true or no, contingencies can allow you to wait until the future and say, okay, if this becomes true in the future, this is what I'll do. I'll pay you more money. If this does not become true in the future, you pay me more money, or you continue paying me money, right? Whatever is the result that you're seeking to bridge in a way, that you're seeking to shift the risk of one occurrence to the other person. So that being said, you're sharing the risk of a potential outcome by saying, okay, if this happens, then this is what you'll do. If this happens, this is what I'll do. And in both scenarios, it covers the risk of either potential occurrence, right? So it can bridge the divide when two parties are not willing to come together. And then lastly, seeking feedback, asking third parties, asking the other person about your position. There's perspective taking, which is asking the other person about their position, that type of thing. But seeking genuine and honest feedback from the other person or from third parties as influence in the negotiation is once again seen as a creativity approach, because once again it can help you come up with novel ideas. It can move you towards your objective in novel ways based upon proposals from third parties or proposals from the other party, him or herself. So anyway, these are some creativity tactics that you can employ in the negotiation process that have shown to have good results.